We'll gather around, feel the love come down. Blue elephant is strong, together we belong. In every comment. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, I don't know if you remember, it's been, I don't know, several weeks ago now. Let's Resin had sent me their large and small rectangle tray mold. Well, this is a small one. I'm finally getting around to it, and I am super excited today. Now, not only are we going to play with this tray, I also have these. They're the DTUTF stickers. You know which ones I'm talking about. The rub-on transfers. And I absolutely love the saying. They're not sayings. They're parts of scripture. But I love the ones that are on here. So with Easter coming up, I figured that we're going to use this one right here on the bottom that says, by his wounds we are healed, because it kind of applies to the Easter season. So we're going to incorporate that in the tray. Now, obviously, that's going to come later after we've already poured. But what I want to do today is I want to try something different. We all know Daniel Cooper's glue, the PVA clear glue in the resin to suspend glitter. Well, I've been thinking about this and playing around with it in my head for a while now. What happens if we do it, but instead of glitter, we do it in mica powders? Will that help keep the colors separate, from blending, because they're going to be, snot-like? So that's what we're going to try today. Now, I mixed up, I think it was about 10 ounces of Let's Resin epoxy resin for this. And I did put it through my bubble machine. Now, it's not going to make a huge difference because it is and it isn't. I got the majority of the bubbles out. I'm still probably going to incorporate some by mixing in the glue, but that's just, it just is what it is. I don't want to have to put it in there after I do the glue. I don't really know. I'm pretty sure you can probably do it, but with it being so thick and stuff, it may just be a waste of time. Now, I've picked out 3 colors along with some of Let's Resin's Ocean White. And then to the Ocean White, I am adding, it's non-sync extra fine glitter is what that kind of teal looking color one. And then just some really light purple. And then it's called Spin It Cherry, I think. It's a mix that I got from April from Dresses and Dragons Craftorium last year, and I absolutely love the color. That's going to be our border. Now time for the colors. So for the colors, I kind of want springy, Eastery type colors. So we're going with a kind of pinky color, and then we're going to do teal and a purple I thought would look really nice. So the glitter colors that I put into the white, although I do understand that we're not going to see most of them, it's just going to probably be like a hint of the color in there, but I thought it would look kind of cool. Now, to this resin, I am adding 1 drop and 1 drop only of the clear PVA glue, and I'm just using Elmer's. But to my knowledge, any kind of clear PVA glue works for this. And then I'm going to mix it up until we get that lovely snot-like consistency and move on to the next color. Now, my plan for this is I'm going around the bottom part not for white. I'm going around the bottom part with the white glitter mixture. That's going to be kind of like the border, the top of the tray, whatever. I wanted to do something different. I didn't necessarily want to use straight glitter. I don't want to necessarily have to paint it either. But I wanted something. So that's what we're going to do for that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add clear resin first. Now, you could totally just empty it. And oh my God, words are not my friend today, guys. Like, I don't know what's going on with the brain. Let's start this over. After I pour my white, then I'm going to go with clear. And the reason I want to go with clear is because where I'm hoping that the PVA glue in the mica powder resin mixture will keep my colors from blending because I'm not waiting. I've mixed the resin. The only wait time that I had was the 6 minutes I had it in my bubble remover and the time it's taken me to mix the colors. So I'm not waiting for it to thicken. I'm pouring straight as is, and I'm hoping that it will keep my colors from blending, but at the same time, I do want some kind of movement. And personally, I like it better using clear down first so that the when I pour my colors down, they're not stuck to the silicone in the way that I pour them. They have that kind of barrier of a little bit of clear just to help with the movement of the resin. Because it'll move on top, but it's the bottom part where you're going to see that I want it to move too. Does that make sense? I'm not using it for any effect or anything like that. I'm using it as a barrier between my colors and my silicone. Okay, so I poured the white all around in there, and I didn't quite use all of it. I just want it along the top rim of my tray. I don't need it to go all the way down. I actually really don't want it to travel up into the tray. I want that to be mainly for my colors. Then I took my silicone tool and went around the edge, trying to prevent any kind of bubbles from sticking there, and cleaned off the white that I spilled all over the place because I don't want that on there. Right? Now it's time for the clear. Now, I realize that in doing this, because I didn't mention this, and I don't know if you were paying attention. In my white, I did not put the glue. That is just straight resin with the pigment paste and the glitters. No glue in that. The glue is only in those 3 colors that I'm using. So I do know that once I pour the clear in here, some of my white is probably going to travel up. And that's okay if it's a little bit. I just don't want a lot, right? I want my colors to do the talking in this part. Now, just making sure that my clear is completely covering the entire bottom of that tray. And I hit it with my heat gun to pop any surface bubbles that may have just happened, because they do. And now we're going in with our color. And I'm just kind of like putting it in here and there and wherever and moving it around just a little bit. And then we're going to go in with the next color. Now, I do realize that the colors are going to blend when I'm putting them on top of each other, okay? But my main kind of purpose for trying this is, are they going to blend more than that? So obviously, yes, I'm putting them on top of each other. We're going to get some slight blending there, most likely, because they are layered on top of each other. But in those clear areas where there's nothing else, are they going to stay separate or are they going to merge together? Because if I poured clear resin down right now, they would just kind of just automatically start merging. And you can see where, yes, there's a little bit of travel, especially in the green towards the top of the screen. You can see the movement already, but not like it would be if I was doing it without the PVA. At least that's what I'm thinking initially anyway. Now, I don't want a clear tray, okay? So my objective here is to cover all the parts where I can see the clear poking through and I don't have any color. And I also want to get it as close to that edge as possible because I'm hoping that some of it will travel down. I don't necessarily want a clear like side of my tray either. So if the white doesn't come up, I would like some of that color to go down into it. Now, is that going to happen? I don't know. I've never done this before, and I do everything on camera first time with you guys. There is no trial before I record. I record and we go with it. Pass, fail, whatever, you guys are seeing it. So we're just going to keep on going until either all of my colors are gone or the tray is full, whichever comes first. I really shouldn't have any left over because Let's Resin is brilliant and they put the amount of resin on their molds, which I absolutely love. This way there's really no guesswork. So I know it was like 9 point something, so I just mixed up 10. But if you're going to dome it a little bit, they don't kind of give you it's whatever it is what's going to fill the mold. It's not like a doming. Here's a little bit extra to fill it up so that when it shrinks back some, it's completely full. So you do have, you may want to mix up another, half ounce to an ounce, depending on what kind of mold you're doing, just if you're going to dome it so that you have that resin ready for you. So I didn't mind doing a little bit extra because it's all going to go in here. Now I did have some white left over from before, so I just kind of sprinkled that on top. I'm not necessarily mixing it up or anything like that. I just kind of threw it in. What it happens, happens. It doesn't matter. Did go around underneath the lip of where the tray is coming just so to make sure that there's no air bubbles stuck kind of trapped in there. And that's it. The only thing that I was just spreading out was a little bit of clear. I could see just putting the color on there. Quick spray of alcohol. All right, here we are 24 hours later. Now you can see there is distinct definition of those colors. There's not a lot of blending. And honestly, I didn't think of this until the last minute. What I wish I would have done and what I think I'm going to do in the future is I want to do a side-by-side comparison. So doing the same exact thing in the same exact mold and doing one with the glue and one without the glue so that we can actually see the difference if there is one. I believe there is. I don't think we would have got this kind of color and just the way it looks. I don't think that would have happened. It definitely would have been more blended, I feel, if I had just poured it without the glue. But I will be doing a side by side just to kind of see in the future, near future, because I really want to do it before I forget. Okay, so now just trimming off the sharp edges. I probably could have used another ounce to dome it more, but it is what it is. I did get a couple small little air bubbles on the top of the tray, so I'm just going to go with some UV resin, and I'm using Let's Resin's UV resin and their UV flashlight, which is brilliant and I absolutely love. And I'm just putting a dot of resin in it, making sure that it's not bubbling over because otherwise it's going to cure like that and then it's going to look stupid too. And I'm just kind of dapping it in there as I need it to fill it up. If the first little drip doesn't fill it up, I'll go in there again. But it was just a couple, so quick fix, and then we're done. And then we're going to move on to getting the sticker in here and finishing stuff up. So now, quick clean just to make sure that there's not going to be any fingerprints in here because I am top coating it. And I want to make sure that there's not going to be anything in there. Cutting it down a little bit more to size so that it fits in here. And now it is time to peel off that back layer. And of course, with this one, there's one part of that H that just refused, no matter how much I rubbed it, to come off like it should. So I had to play around with it for a little bit because, if I don't fight with a sticker anytime I use it, then there's something wrong and everybody better watch out because it's like the end of the world or something. Hell's done frozen over. It's something stupid is happening because no matter what, if there's a sticker involved and Nicole, there's a fight on your hands. Like it's just it is what it is. All right, so centering it up as best I can with just eyeballing it because we know me and rulers, we don't get along, and then rubbing it down. Now, kept my finger under the one edge so I didn't have to peel it back up, so I already have something to pull on. So this tray is still kind of bendy, right? I didn't wait even a full 24 hours, so it's not like rock hard yet. This this tape that they have, the transfer tape that's on here, oh my god. Like if you guys, any of you people out there that use Cricut and you know that extra strong transfer tape that when you stick it to your resin, if you make the mistake of rubbing it down like I did here, you're like never getting it off and it's a fight. That was this. Like it was bending the tray as I was trying to pull it away. You need to be a bodybuilder for real to get that off. It was a fight, let me tell you. My God. But it turned out beautifully. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So now it's time to do a little detail work. I decided that just around the corners, because I didn't want to edge out the top. I want that kind of glitter mixture that I put in there to show. And it has like a pretty almost pastel-y pink appearance to it. Um, so I decided that I just want to do a couple rhinestones in the corners. Just a couple, just to because, why not? We gotta deck it out, do some little extra something something, right? Otherwise it's not my channel if I'm not doing something extra and making it more tedious. I can't just have a simple project because no, I feel bad. I feel like I'm like doing you guys a disservice if my projects don't take like 3 days to do. I'm like, oh my God, it's so simple. Everybody's gonna like unsubscribe to me or something. I don't know. I don't know. It's a problem because I seriously do feel really really bad if it's not like completely like crazy out there. Anyway, enough rambling. So we're just using some of the Fragment Effects glass binder, I think it's called, and just putting them on there. Now this stuff is super liquidy. I need to find something better. Like it holds, don't get me wrong, it holds, but it's so liquidy that if it comes out almost like water, and when you put them on there, they just kind of float away. Just like the boat, Georgie's boat in it. It just floats. And then you have to use a Q-tip to suck some of it back up, and then it's just the whole thing. So I do need to find something better to use that's maybe a little bit thicker that I can just put a dot down and it stays a dot and that's it. My rhinestone stick to it and I don't gotta fight with it. All right, time for the top coat. So I did clean it up with some alcohol because when I was pulling off that transfer tape, you could see there's a little bit of that residue that was left behind from the glue. So a little bit of alcohol on a paper towel. And I'm just going to clean the whole thing because, you guys saw me fight with it. There's probably fingerprints everywhere. And then it's time for the top coat. And for the top coat, I am using Let's Resin's Tabletop. And I just mixed up, it was either 40, 60 milliliters. That's it, just a little bit. Not putting it through the bubble machine. It's too thick for that. It's not going to do anything but make matters worse. And it's such a thin coat that putting it on there, heating it up with the heat gun, and smoothing it out, by the time it cures, you're not going to have an issue with bubbles anyway. It's nothing that's super deep, so there's no reason why those bubbles shouldn't pop on their own. And then we are just taking it all the way to the edges. Now, I'm not going up the sides of the little corners because they slant, so you kind of can't. But just enough to kind of make it look flowy so that it's not like some harsh stop line. So I am taking it up just a tiny bit. And then we'll probably hit it with a heat gun. Now, I am not spraying it with alcohol. Not on a finishing piece, not on the top coat. No, because sometimes it hasn't happened here recently using it, but I tend to get like an oil slick kind of look on it, and I'm not running the top coat on this. I really, really like this tray a lot. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So I don't want to have to do anything that's going to involve sanding and more work than what needs to happen and retop coating again. No, thank you. So we're just going to hit it with the heat gun and make sure that there's nothing in there. Set it off to the side, let it cure, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm not doing anything else to it. I do love how it turned out. I even like how there's one area off, well, it's up at the top now, where the white kind of fell through a little bit, and it kind of looks like this glittery cloud mix. Like, it's super cool. I like it a lot. I love the way the colors turned out. I do feel that the Elmer's glue did keep it from mixing and blending a lot. Now, how is it another project? I don't know. This is the only time that I've done this. I will be doing it again with a different kind of mold. And then again, how would it be if you poured it directly onto the silicone or directly into your mold without a clear buffer? I don't know. Definitely worth trying out, in my opinion. Anyway, that is a wrap on this one, guys. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. I will see you guys on Tuesday in the next one. Love ya. Bye.
Together we belong. In every comment, right? You lift me to new heights. Your support, it's clear, gives me reason to cheer. Blue Elephant Crew, this one's out for you. You make dreams come true with everything you do. Each subscriber's heart playing a vital part. Videos we share, showing how much we care. Likes